And now, let us prepare our hearts and minds for a time of meditation. I invite you to find a comfortable position in your seats. Close your eyes if you wish, and take a few deep breaths. Let go of any distractions or worries that might be on your mind. As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me, my heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I surrender. I am peace. As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me. Everything. My heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. I surrender.
So I invite you now to take another deep breath. Inhale, exhale. As you settle in to your chair, letting your body relax, allowing your muscles to just sink into your chair, feeling the support. And I invite you now to turn your attention to your heart, allowing your awareness to move to your heart. And now I invite you to imagine a light, a golden light in your heart center. This light is love itself. And now imagine this loving golden light moving out to your whole body, down through your legs, through your arms, up to your head, so that your whole body is filled with this loving light emanating from your heart. And just sit in that for a minute, allowing that love that you are to saturate your entire being. Breathe that in. And you might say to yourself silently, I am light. I am love. Breathing that in. I am light. I am love. I am light. I am love. And now I invite you to take another deep breath. Inhale. Exhale with a sigh. And as you go about the rest of this service and the rest of your day, I invite you to remember the light that you are and the love that you are, knowing that you make a difference in this world simply by being the light that you are, the love that you are. And so it is.
I surrender. I am peace. I surrender. I am peace.
Hello again, everyone. We're so thrilled to be invited to join you today. It's always a pleasure. It's also really fun that we're in our house and we're connecting with all of you. So it's really wonderful. We'd like to do another song before our talk, and this one also has a call and response because it takes a village to be Melissa and Z, and we'd like you to join us and have fun with us. So this one actually has moves too, super advanced. So check it out. You're gonna follow me, and you can watch Melissa. So we're gonna clarify, and it's got moves. So then we're gonna magnify, and then I'm gonna say occupy, and you're gonna say occupy your faith, not your face. Feel free to occupy your face, but we're gonna occupy your faith, and then we're gonna glorify, testify,
fortify your faith.
That's it. And there's also a singing chorus, and please join Melissa on that singing chorus when it comes.
Yeah, you'll hear it at the very
You'll hear
front.
it. Okay, are you ready? Here we go.
There we go. They got the head nod this time.
We got ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, you're ready.
Here we go.
Fortify, fortify, fortify your faith. Fortify, fortify, fortify your faith. Oh, they're moving. When I was a child, a little bitty baby child, I didn't believe in nothing.
Yeah.
Faith was for suckers, I told myself. People who were weak, people who need help. But all around me, everyone would say, you gotta believe, you gotta pray. Believing in nothing ain't no way. Here's what you gotta do each and every day. You gotta clarify, magnify, occupy your faith. And then you gotta glorify, testify, fortify your faith.
Oh, you've got to fortify your faith. You've got to fortify your faith. Oh, yeah.
Time went on, and I grew up. up, I started to question. I said, what's up with my
What's
life,
up
the world, the universe,
with the
and how
world?
things work?
Wow.
Why am I here? Tell me now, what's my worth? I started to notice synchronicities and a power beyond what I could see.
Yeah.
Next thing I knew, I heard Spirit say, here's what you gotta do each and every day. You gotta clarify,
Clarify.
magnify,
Magnify.
occupy your faith, and then you gotta glorify,
Glorify.
testify,
Testify.
fortify your faith.
Oh, you've got to fortify your faith. Yeah, you've got to fortify your faith. Oh, you can do it. Make it stronger. Come on, pay attention. There's no need to wait. Fortify your faith. Yeah.
Now I know.
Now I know.
Now I see
Now I
that
see.
faith is so much bigger than me.
bigger than
Starts in the
me.
heart and grows and grows.
Yeah.
Where it stops, God only knows. So if you're down, if you're blue,
If you're
remember
blue.
that spirit is bigger than you. Let it
Yeah.
hold you, mold you, take you, shape you. And here is all you have to do. You gotta clarify,
Clarify.
magnify,
Magnify.
occupy your faith, and then you gotta glorify,
Glorify.
testify,
Testify.
fortify your faith. Oh yeah, you gotta clarify,
Clarify.
magnify,
Magnify.
occupy
your faith, yeah.
and then you gotta glorify,
Glorify.
testify,
Testify.
fortify your faith.
Fortify. You've got to fortify your faith. Yeah, fortify your faith. Again, you've got to believe. Yeah, there to fortify. Yeah, fortify your faith.
Yeah. Oh, y'all did great. That was so fun.
That was so
It
fun.
was so fun to see you doing the
Watching
moves.
you do all the things. Yeah.
Love it.
Okay, so moving into our message of the day, we know that your message for the year, your journey is all about the quest for wholeness. And we're going to talk this morning about specific times in that quest where I think you know, where you've ever had one of those times where you're cruising along your path, happy as a clam, and bam, you run right into a raging river. And I'm talking like your path goes along and hits a river, and you stand there and you can see on the other side of the river, there's the path, but there's no bridge. And there seems to be no way from here to there. Anyone else ever have this experience of, yeah. So whether it's a tiny stream or it's a vast river, what we believe is that the waters are always more easily crossed, or maybe crossed at all, by simply asking for help from spirit.
Now, we are metaphysicians, so we talk a lot about affirmations and affirmative prayer, right? We know the power of that. We talked about affirmations earlier. And we want to talk today about something which is another version of that, which is simply asking spirit for help. Now, we know the paradox of metaphysics is we say spirit's right here, but spirit's also everywhere. So we're asking for help. It's outside and within both, but it's just the simple act sometime of simply asking for help.
So we're suggesting we ask spirit, and then we ask whoever spirit suggests that we ask after that, right? Or whatever we do. Help always comes. I know that many of you know this already. So whether we recognize it at first or not, or it's hidden or disguised as things we don't like sometimes, it always comes. So we're each going to share a story this morning with you about a time when we were met with this raging river in our path and how we got across. And Z's going to start us off.
So I don't know if you experienced this or not, but it's often when I most need to ask for help that I forget to ask. Ah, what a concept. So Melissa and I have come up with a hack for this, which is we ask for help from Spirit all the time. Because the more you do it, the better you get at hearing Spirit's answers. And the beautiful thing too is anyone can do this. Everyone has their own unique connection with Spirit, right? It's a really cool thing. Now, there are tons of things I ask for help with. When I've misplaced something, before I have a maybe challenging phone call, when I can't sleep in the middle of the night, I'll just say, help me, Spirit, help me go back to sleep. Opening the lid of a jar, that one's amazing. The little things like that, right? I just stop, take a second, ask for help. So the more I do it, for me, it's like having a superpower, really. I mean, it makes me very mighty and very connected to Spirit. Now, I want to share with you one of my first big asking for help experiences, my first big river crossings. It came soon after I graduated from college. A few years after I graduated from college, I found myself working on a farm. And this farm was owned by an elderly gentleman named Hollis Lovell. And there was a young guy there named Stuart. So Stuart had been hired to run the farm. Stuart was a real Yankee. I was on the East Coast. We were in Massachusetts. And real Yankee, which meant he was tough and stoic, and he spoke about 5 words a day. True Yankee. And he was my boss. He only spoke in response to direct questions. He was very intense. So Stuart, the Yankee kid, talked Hollis Lovell into buying a new tractor and a whole bunch of new equipment to run the place, to have it be more efficient, like a farm. This was all well and good, but then a few months after Stuart talked Hollis into buying the tractor, he left. He said, I'm gonna go start my own farm now. So now they needed a new manager, and Hollis picked me because we'd gone to the same college. I said, well, see, there's 2 problems with this. One, I knew nothing about running a farm. I was an English major, for God's sake. I'd only been there 6 months, and I just did what Stuart told me to do with those 5 words a day, right? And also, here's another problem with it, because the manager had to drive a tractor. I was not a driver, okay? Well, let's put this in context. I was 24 years old, and I did not have a driver's license. When I was in high school, back in the 70s, we had driver's ed in school. I don't know if any of you remember this, where they actually trained you to drive at school, right? But I hated driver's ed. My driver's ed teacher was totally wild. She drove on the demolition derby on the weekend. It was rumored that she had not 1, but 2 DUIs. The kids in my driver's ed group were equally intimidating. There was a kid who grew up in the country. He'd been driving since he was probably 5, driving tractors. There was a girl in my driver's ed group that I'm pretty sure got most of her experience stealing cars. She was extremely intimidating. Now, it didn't help matters that I was a queer, gender-rich nerd. Whole lot of gender going on. And at the time, I did not know that these were actually good things. I just knew that I was not in my body, not a happy kid, and not a driver, because I really wasn't fully embodied. Yeah. So when it was my turn, the instructor would take us out in the country roads, so I didn't actually have to stop or turn or do anything advanced, right? She just like, let's drive. I had no skills. So here I am, the idea of driving a tractor, well, that's more than a little intimidating. But here's the thing. At this point, I had discovered the spiritual path. 1 year earlier, at the age of 23, I had a spiritual awakening where I woke up to the power and presence of the divine. That's in me, that's in everything. It was like, wow, how did I not know about this before, right? And Spirit had led me to the farm. And now, even though it made no sense, Spirit was giving me this opportunity to run the farm. So I said yes. I was willing to try. How hard could it be? Okay, before Stuart left, he trained me on everything I needed to know about how to run the tractor, how to use the equipment, all that stuff, but he didn't tell me much because remember, just like 5 words a day was his allotment. So I didn't really get all the information I need. This went on for about a month, then he left. I still remember my first day on the job. It was a Friday, and the first few hours went great. And then I needed to hitch a big piece of equipment. It was a gigantic rototiller onto the back of the tractor. And how you do that is you have to back the tractor directly into this attachment. It's huge, it's heavy, it's not moving. So you had to back the tractor precisely into the rototiller to get it to hitch. Had these big U metal receptors, right? So I get on the tractor, I back the tractor into the tiller, doesn't go. It's not exactly in there. So I go forward, I try again, a little better, still doesn't go. Then I try again, and again, and again. It's not happening. It's actually getting worse, right? There was no way this tractor was going to connect with this machine, and I didn't know what to do. Only the manager could drive the tractor. So here I am. I'm at the edge of the river, and I have no idea how to get across, right? So finally, after an hour of trying and failing, I remembered to ask Spirit for help. Now, I understand that Spirit is inside and all around me. It's always going to answer, right? But sometimes when we ask for help, it sounds a little like this. Help! Right? So that's what happened. I asked for help, and the first thing I heard was a little voice that said, step away from the tractor. And then I heard another little voice that said, go home. So I did. It's Friday afternoon by now. I went home, and by go home, I mean I rode my bike home because remember, I'm not a driver. So I spend the weekend meditating and listening to Spirit. And in that time, I acknowledged, I don't know why I'm at the farm. I have no idea how to drive this tractor or really run the place, but I know that Spirit wants me to be there. So somehow, some way, Spirit is going to show me to the other side of the river. So next Monday, I went back to the farm, rode my bike back to the farm, and I will never forget what happened. I got back on that tractor and I tried again. And you know what? Like I'd been doing it all my life, like butter. First time, right into that tiller.
Nice.
And in that moment, I learned something very important, that sometimes when you are standing on the edge of that riverbank with no way over, no bridge, you need to take a moment. You need to step away from the tractor. You need to take time to check in with Spirit so that when it comes time to take that next step, Spirit can show you the way. In my case, over the weekend, Spirit somehow built me a bridge and I drove that tractor right over the bridge. I was at that farm for about 6 more years, and looking back on it now, I can totally see why I was supposed to be there. It was a time of incredible healing for me. Number one, working outdoors allowed me to become more grounded in my body. Growing food allowed me to heal from an eating disorder. Working at the farm meant that I could dress in whatever gender-rich fashion that I wanted, which helped me really start claiming my gender-rich identity. Driving a tractor taught me to be an excellent driver.
Yes.
And a backer. I'm kind of mad at the backup cameras because they don't let me show off my incredible driving backing skills, but whatever. Taking leadership of the farm helped me to grow in confidence in an amazing way. And finally, knowing that I could stand on the edge of the river, not knowing what to do, and Spirit would show me the way, that has happened again and again and again in my life, and Spirit always shows me the way. And here's the thing, when you let Spirit lead your life, you go to so many amazing places that you never would have come up with on your own, right? Your life is so much better when you let Spirit lead. So when you're standing at the edge of that river, maybe you're standing at the edge of the river right now in some area of your life, know that you can stop, wait, and ask for help. And if you're willing to ask, wait, and listen, Spirit will always show you the way over. It may not come in the timing you expect. It may not come in the form you expect. But if you're willing to ask and listen, Spirit will always show you the way over. So for me, the process of stepping back, asking for help, and listening is contained in a very special mantra I want to share with you now. Step away from the tractor. Say it with me. Step away from the tractor. Okay, my work is done. Melissa?
So I became a full-on drug addict at the age of 13. Now I know how young that is. At the time, I had no idea, of course. I would do anything at that point to avoid being me and feeling feelings. And at 13, I had a lot of feelings. Being me included having a lot of feelings and no idea how to process all these emotions, all these feelings. And for a long time, I had no idea I was an addict, of course, like all of us who are addicts in recovery or addicts still using. We start off just, I was partying. I was having fun. That was my description. Back then, of course, partying did include lots of heavy drugs all day long, but that's what I was doing. I was just having a good time partying. So fast forward years from this, and after dabbling and dancing with Spirit in a lot of different ways, I had my addiction had shifted and showed up now as just pot and alcohol. Now that meant pot all day, every day, and alcohol when there was no pot around or when alcohol was also there. But I still found myself at the age of 31 completely lost. I had no ongoing conscious relationship with Spirit, and I didn't pray like I pray today, certainly, but I was so lost that I was crying out to the universe, help, help, a lot, like every day. And eventually I had this friend who invited me to her home in Hawaii, and she said, I'm writing a book, so you have to come for 6 weeks, which sounded pretty good, 6 weeks in Hawaii. So I went and I thought, I know this would be great. I'll go to Hawaii and I'll do a cleanse. And a cleanse at that point for me meant no drugs or alcohol, including no pot, for the 6 weeks. I had no idea how hard that was going to be till I got there, but I did it. And then the first 2 months that I was back, I just was using again, because of course I'd done my trip to Hawaii, my little cleanse. And of course, I never said I was going to stop forever, but every day, tomorrow was going to be the day I stopped. So every single day I would say, tomorrow I'm stopping. This may be familiar to some of you, but on one particular day, I had run out of pot. And so when I said, tomorrow I'm going to stop, I thought that's going to be great. I won't even have any pot. So that'll make it easier for me to make it through the day. So I went through the whole day. I was functioning just fine. And then I got to bed. I went to bed. It was 11 o'clock at night. And I just thought, nope, I'm just going to go see my brother who lived an hour away and get that one joint he said he has. So I drove for an hour. And I had to get gas on the way. And so I stopped for gas. And I remember pulling out of the gas station and saying out loud to myself, laughing in the car, this is like what an addict would do. But at the time, it was just like funny to me. It was not me. I was, So I do have that memory. But still, it was a month later, lots more time of every morning. Today's going to be the day. And then I'd tell myself, well, I made it this far, so obviously I can just do it tomorrow. And then I would use, and I would hate myself, and I would promise myself, tomorrow's the day. And that was the cycle over and over. It was very, very painful. At the same time, I had a new friend in my life that had 3 years sober from alcoholism. And this guy, he had been a gutter drunk alcoholic. I mean, he had stories that would curl your toes. They were so disgusting with him and alcohol. But now, 3 years sober, he had this great life and he would share his sobriety with me just in conversation. He was really happy. So I just kept sort of noticing that all and saying to myself, gosh, maybe if he can do it, maybe I can do it. Maybe. So one particular day, I'd made it through the whole day, and it was around 5 o'clock. I'd finished all my teaching, and I had a joint in one hand and the phone in the other hand, and I called my friend Barry. And I got his answering machine. Remember answering machines? Yeah. So I left him a voicemail, and he eventually called me back, and he asked me if I was high. One, I said yes. He asked me if I was sorry that I was high. I said yes, I was crying. And he asked me if I wanted to stop, and I said yes, very much. I really do. I really want to stop. So he had me look up in the yellow pages. We had yellow pages then. He had me look up when there was a program meeting that I could go to the next day. He had me call them and find out a meeting, and he suggested, he made me agree actually, that when I went to that meeting, before I left that room, I would raise my hand and say that I needed help. I would ask for help. So I did that. That very next day, I went to a meeting. It was Friday, July 31st, 1989. I did all of those things. I went to the meeting. I hadn't used before I went, so far so good. The meeting was at noon, so I left with 6 phone numbers and a sponsor. And that was my first full day clean. I had to ask for help from the universe, the all as I call it, so much that day. Like just this constant asking. And now, one day at a time of a lot of asking all along the way with life's journeys, I have 36 years, 1 month, and 7 days clean and sober. Yay, thank you. I hear you. Lots, as you can imagine, lots of asking for help along the way to stay clean for all that time. And now I have to say, I'm pretty good at navigating all those emotions. I don't have all the emotions I had at 13. I navigate them really well. And in this time, I have become more and more connected to spirit. I've gone deeper and deeper in that relationship. And now I'm really comfortable actually communing with and kind of leaning into spirit, my higher power. I'm actually Reverend Dr. Melissa Felipe. So that probably should be good at leaning into spirit if I'm Reverend Dr. Melissa Felipe, but I am. It's really comfortable for me. And all of it comes down to asking. I really do believe that all the best yumminess of my life, and I have a yummy, yummy life, but all the best yumminess has come from asking and then listening and following. Ask, listen, and follow. Because the truth is that in you and me, in you right now, there is guidance waiting to be given to you, to lead you, right? And so with one ask, one prayer at a time, we will find the bridge across that raging river or that little stream. We're always facing some water in our path, right? And every time, if we ask and listen and follow, we will be led to a better place. So ask. That's our message for you today. Ask and listen. As Z said, we suggest asking all the time so that you remember to do it when you most need it, because it's such a habit to ask all the time and to listen all the time. And that will lead to answers all the time, the all the time guidance. So for now, I invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. In what area of your life do you find yourself standing at the water's edge? Whatever comes. See yourself standing at the water's edge and tune into your heart. Good. Allow whatever comes up for you to come as you ask. Spirit, what do I need to know about my next step? What do I need to know about my next step? And what is mine to do and not do? And Spirit, do you have a symbol for me that will help to lead me in your best direction for me and my life? Great. Be aware that whether clarity comes now or later today or sometime soon or weeks from now, Spirit always answers. So keep listening. For now, take a deep breath and return your awareness to the room. Thank you. Spirit, 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 carry me. Spirit, carry me. I can see my way over, so I pray till you carry me. Spirit, carry me. Spirit, carry me. I can see my way over, so I pray till you carry me. And I'll stay right here till you carry